This is an interesting topic to treat here. Uh, for the purpose of clarity, I think there is need to illuminate and elucidate this matter so that people can be more aware, to really understand the cross of the matter that I want to talk about now. And that is the issue of who really owns Port Harcourt City. Between the Kwere group and the Okreka group in Rivers State, which of these groups really owns Port Harcourt City? The issue of the ownership of Port Harcourt City is embroidered in some form of controversy and contention. The two groups, major groups, in Rivers State, who are incidentally neighbors, are contending on which of them that owns the city of Port Harcourt. If you become observant when you get into Port Harcourt City, you will find out that there are two conspicuous groups that are there. You see at the extreme, going to the Harbour side, you see a predominant and preponderance of the riverine people. We call them, the people we call the Okreka people. They may not be called actually riverine people, but Okreka people. They are there. They quarter there in mass, in large numbers. You don't always find them, this side of Job and all that. And when you come from the side of Secretariat or whatever, then you find another people, the Kwere group. They are there. The Okreka people have even taken their map up to my one, Mbolu side, the my one side, claiming that place is even Okreka land. So the contention is there, but it is not official. It is also silent. You may not understand it even if you stay 20 years in Port Harcourt as a stranger, but the indigenes of the land know very, very well that there is, a minor problem of who really owns Port Harcourt City. Of course, nobody is pushing each other away from the city, but the issue is who actually owns Port Harcourt City between Okreka people and Ikwere people. And the story goes that, Port Harcourt City gained a city status in the year 1913. The actual acquisition of the land started in the year 1912, as midwifed by Lewis Harcourt, who was one of the administrators, colonial administrators at the time. He was the one that midwifed that acquisition matter on behalf of the Southern Protectorate of Nigeria. The Nigeria was not yet created. Nigeria was created in the year 1914. So this happened penultimate 1914. In the year 1913, the official gazette of a city status was given to Port Harcourt by the colonial administration at the time. So when the white people, the colonial government wanted, a place to site and construct a railway and a harbor, the wharf, they approached the people of Rebisi. Rebisi people are the original owners of that place. they approached the people of Rebisi, the Ogunabali areas and all that, Oriji and all that, the Lekahi and all that are the Rebisi people, Woji people. They approached them to acquire land from them. So the acquisition was done not actually by selling off that place. It was not sold, it was a lease agreement. The white people had a lease agreement with the people of Rebisi to use their land to establish the harbor, the wharf, the railway and all that, and to create an economic hub because of its proximity to the water. So they wanted where they can bring in goods and also export goods from the Southern Protectorate and not Nigeria now, So how did Okrika people and the element of Africa came into it? At that time, during the colonial administration or government, of Nigeria, even before Nigeria was born, the pattern was wherever the district officers were going to, or the resident officers were going to, they were usually accompanied by local interpreters, local people to guide them and help them have easy access, to the people they want to go to. So when the white people were coming to sign the agreement with the Rebisi people, one Chief Adokie from Okrika was the person who led the white people from Okrika into Ikwere, because they came from that axis. He was the chief that the white people met in his own area, and he, offered himself to help them come to the owners of the land. So Chief Adokie was the person who came with the white people into Ikwere land to sign the agreement. And if you look at it properly, make your investigation, all the chiefs that signed that lease agreement with Lewis Harcourt, with Lord Lugard, were all Rebisi chiefs. There was no Okrika person that appended his signature in that acquisition document. No Okrika person. Make your investigation. Go to the National Archives. Go to River State Archives. You will not find any Okrika person that appended his signature, that signed on behalf of Okrika or on behalf of Ikwere people, to become a co-owner of that particular place. All the chiefs that signed that acquisition document were all Ikwere chiefs. Chief Adokie did not sign for the Okrika people, did not also sign for Ikwere people. That was how the elements of Okrika came into it. Ordinarily, there shouldn't be any controversy, surrounding the ownership of Port Harcourt. Ordinarily, because that was what really happened. But you see, because Ikwere people and Okrika people from that side are close neighbors, they are very, very close. When you enter the Ogunabali waters, the people you find there are Okrika people. As I have said, they were, some of the earliest people that the Ikwere people had as neighbors, before even the creation of Nigeria. They have been there with Ikwere people. So many of them crossed from that side to the mainland and started building, their small house and all that. And the people allowed them. This matter lingered until it entered into litigation. it entered into the court, the modern court, to look into it and see who really owns Port Harcourt City. So the whole thing continued until in the year 1981, the apex court in the land, which is the Supreme Court, gave a judgment, and gave a judgment that the real owners of Port Harcourt are Ikwere people, particularly Rebisi people. Go and make your findings. In the year 1981, the highest court in Nigeria, called the Supreme Court of Nigeria, gave a judgment, a final judgment. And in that judgment, it now recognized the people of Kalio, Fime, Ozuboko, and some of them, they from Okrika, that settled there as customary tenants to Ikwere people. That was the judgment that was given, that they are customary tenants to Ikwere people. It is there in the judgment. So there's no doubt about who truly owns Port Harcourt City. The city is principally owned by the indigenous of Ikwere land, particularly the people of Rebisi. Even after that judgment, there have not been any move by Ikwere people to push away their Okrika brothers and sisters who have already stayed there for centuries. They still cohabit there. When you have an Ikwere person elected as the substantive chairman, you have the Okrika person to deputize him or her. That has been the case, and I think they are believing that cordially, not minding the judgment of the Supreme Court, not minding, some of the struggles that we are associated with the matter. Of course, time to time, there used to be clashes between the people of Obunabale and the Okrika people, But I think that has subsided. It has really subsided. It is not as serious as it was, in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and even 90s. But the fact established here is that the real owners, the indigenous owners of the whole of what we call Port Harcourt City today and its environs, are Ikwere people. All that zoo side, where you have the people now majorly ported by the Akwa Ibom people, and all that, belong to Oginibal people, and the back of it, Woji people. No Okrika person has an inch of land in Port Harcourt originally, unless acquired through sale. So that is the matter on who truly owns the city of Port Harcourt. Ikwere Anume Cow Diale.